Hi everybody to the third part of the stay at home coaching clip. Today we're gonna talk about the 4 vertical passing game and we'll do it out of the 3-by-1 formation. So the way I think about offense, the 4 verticals is really where it all starts, and I must admit I've had a mentor in Rick Rhodes, who has started everything that he taught and everything that he believed in football schematically with the 4 verticals. So I'm kind of biased, but it really brought me a lot of success, and it really makes sense combined with the 2 quick game schemes or 2 quick game ideas that I've showed you in the clips before. I think this is already pretty much everything you need in running an offense. Of course, you will also add some other stuff to it, but as a basis, the 4 vertical game with the efficient quick game will get you started pretty much in a real good way. So when we look at the 4 verticals, I first want to check out the routes that we are running with the outside receivers in a base set. And these routes are called streak reads. And what the streak reads are, they are read routes, as the name already tells you. And the read is as follows. After a vertical release, of course full speed, for 10 yards, the wide receiver who is running a streak read makes a decision. And the decision is to continue his route vertically or to sit the route down on 14 yards. And this is according to his relationship to the defender that he's playing against. If at 10 yards he already beat the defender or is even with the defender covering him, he will continue running the streak and run vertical as fast as possible. But if on 10 yards the cornerback or the safety or whoever is there still has a cushion on the wide receiver will carry on for another 4 yards and then break it down. And when breaking it down, this route can be set to the inside, or if the ball is not here, you can then find your way to the sidelines to get yourself open. So this is the streak read route. Again, the decision is made on 10. The execution of the decision is made on 14 in case you sit it down. Outside release, not mandatory, but outside release would be the best release. But in case you are facing such a hard outside corner, you still want to attack his leverage, which is very important on almost every route, but then you can also go inside. But it's important to push the leverage first and see if you can't get outside. On the inside, we must check out how the defense is aligning. If we are playing against a 1 high defense, here are the hashes. If we are playing against a 1 high defense, we want to divide this guy as good as possible. There will be linebackers underneath, and we say under the first guy, over the second guy, and then get to up here. You want to stretch this safety as good as possible, so you want to attack this hash on about a 22-yard depth as fast as possible. And here you want to streak and get a best release outside here and stretch this guy. As a quarterback, you want to check out where the safety is aligned. Does he have more? Is he leaning more towards this hash, or is he more leaning towards this hash? Or let's put it another way. Is his alignment more towards this catch point or more towards this catch point? Wherever this safety is, you want to freeze him with your eyes. So if this guy for me is considered actually that he's almost a 70% leaning towards this catch point and only 30% leaning towards this catch point, you would want to freeze this guy with your eyes if you just stare right at him and keep him here. The moment you do that, you will get a decision from him. If he's frozen as well and if he doesn't move, well, you have a 70%, and with every step, basically, this is moving on to 70, 75, 80. And when the third foot hits the ground right here and you hitch into your throw, this will be a nice throw. But if you catch the snap and you look at him and this free safety all of a sudden is making a move towards the field side slot receiver, well, then you can just dissect how far he goes. Is it just 2 steps? Then you still have a pretty good shot over here. Or is he really moving with momentum here? Well, then you will get back to this receiver and just throw opposite. Very important by this receiver that he gets vertical. We cannot just run over here a banana route. Underneath coverage will get us, and this guy will not have to make a decision. We have to threaten the safety and the secondary vertical in order to get a good look on this 4 vertical set. Okay? So this was it against the 1 high. Again, I'm not going into all the details. I would really like to ask you to ask questions, detailed questions, because I cannot really know what you actually want, which details you want to talk about, as there is so many on this stuff. So just feel free to post your questions below and I can go into that if I have an answer, which I don't have for everything, of course. But if I have an answer, I'm glad to share it with you. For some reason, in these times of staying at home, these videos are kind of the highlight of my day. So if you look at a 2 high defense, well, things get a little different now, yeah? And what I personally like to do is I like to isolate this strong safety, yeah? And how do we do it? Well, we have this route by our number 1 receiver in the boundary, and we have this route attacking this hash again vertically, where this safety is aligned at the moment. And if usually in these 2 high defenses, his eyes will start on number 3. And if the safety stays on the hash throughout your initial read, well, this is a great time to play one-on-one football out here. And this is all we can ask for, to be honest. But if this safety is already maybe aligned outside of the hash, and then is actually getting depth here, well, that is a real good time to hit this lock over here. Where your eyes will start though, just to make sure as a quarterback, is on this free safety over here. Because if this free safety is collapsing hard to this side, well, we can just stay on the seam here, on the field side seam, and hit that. But usually in this 2 high defense, it's kind of a split field coverage, which means this safety is responsible for this side, this half, and this safety over here is responsible for the other half of the field. But of course it could happen that they read your verticals like that and that he moves over, so he pushes, especially if you have attacked this side quite some time. Well, then you can also stay on this. But usually you cancel him out on your first snap and then you move your eyes towards here where you have a pre-snap idea, and then you can play this pretty well right here. Another way to run this, and this is basically this route for me, is really just if we are facing man coverage and this is your best matchup, then you go here. But against the zone type of coverage, we are playing from this guy to this guy to this guy, pretty much against any look, and then pick the best. We are already at 9 minutes, so I really want to show you one more way to run it, and I learned this one not too long ago, and I actually like it. It's not my, it's kind of different. But this would mean that we don't try to get to the other hash with number 3, but we try to divide this guy as much as possible. So we basically play a game with this guy. We fix first that he's staying on this hash now, and then this guy must make a decision if he takes number 2 or number 3. If this guy moves hard over, well, then we got a chance to attack number 1 here on the initial IFX. Well, this is again 9 minutes and 50 seconds. I hope you liked this 4 vertical talk, and you will tune in the next time when we talk some ball.